Attention of the online giant, which tipped off the Nassau DA.
They brought Nintendo in and had Nintendo look at some of the products that had been sent back to Amazon, and they said, no, these are all counterfeit.
The DA's investigation led to this warehouse in Island Park allegedly stocked with fakes. Arrested Isaac Lapidus of Lawrence, who since 2018 allegedly hawked more than $2 million worth of counterfeit Nintendo accessories using these Amazon seller accounts. Island Park neighbors say from the outside it all looked legit.
There's always trucks loading and unloading, particularly at Christmas.
Well, it is season premiere week. It's our first week fully back. Hope you enjoyed your summer out there. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you haven't checked already, last week we ran two major videos, long ones. One was our Man with the Show look back at summer 2025. The other one is our Otaku Thursday look back at 2025 on the summer. On both of those, they're still available. They're up and still available if you want to check those out. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to drop a comment, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, on this video, I'm going to tell you, check if you are a Nintendo Gear fan out there. You like Nintendo, you like the stuff that you gotten from them, the new handheld 2.0s that have been put out recently, and all the accessories that you needed to buy with it, the games and stuff like that. Well, here is a consumer warning out there. Double check what you bought. If you've had problems with it before, check where you bought them, because unfortunately we had an arrest recently right here in good old NYC, up in Long Island, that someone was selling fake Nintendo gear through Amazon.
Hello, 911? No, I ain't calling a snitch. I got a real emergency. Yeah, I hope.
Yes, that's right. Right through Amazon. And I'll tell you this. This is the thing that, you got to be careful of when you purchase things. I've always said, and I always mention this, anytime, look at, if it doesn't come directly from Amazon listing on there, if you look at the sold by, if it has a different name other than Amazon, always click on, check out the comments, check out the company that it's coming from. There's nothing wrong with third-party companies, to the point. I've dealt with them. I've gotten a couple of things from them through Amazon, through eBay. And, you'll find some good ones. And you'll go back. You'll see that name. You'll go back every time to get other products from that company. But there are those out there, really bad actors, that will try to screw you for $1. It's the same thing with those who were hawking PS5s and Xboxes during the Christmas season, that basically they were charging you extraordinary prices. And, there were a lot of smart people out there that didn't grab onto that, because basically they bought out the stores to sell them to you at a higher price. But back on September 4th, we had this story, and it came out of the New York Post. Long Island man sold $2 million in fake Nintendo gear through Amazon, according to the district attorney. A Long Island man allegedly peddled more than $2 million in phony Nintendo gear out of an Island Park warehouse, selling the false systems through Amazon to thousands of unsuspecting buyers, Nassau County prosecutors announced. Isaac Lapidus, 34, is now facing up to 15 years behind bars after being arraigned on conspiracy and trademark counterfeiting charges in Nassau County on Wednesday in a 7-year-long alleged scam. 7 years, ladies and gentlemen, 7 years. Nassau County DA Ann Donnelly said in a statement. For years, this defendant allegedly hawked hundreds of thousands of counterfeit Nintendo accessories for popular consoles and games through several Amazon seller accounts he controlled, and kept the phony merchandise in an island warehouse for distribution to unsuspecting buyers, Donnelly said. Counterfeit products are not just bad for business, they can also be dangerous for consumers, especially when electronics are involved, she added. Prosecutors said the DA's office was tipped off about the scam by Nintendo and Amazon. Lapidus allegedly started selling the imitation merchandise in October of 2018, peddling the fake items on Amazon through 5 individual sellers. Panda Vita Inc., Unibaby, ABC of Product, This Is Shall Pass, Zuzu Care for You, authorities said. The merchandise, including Nintendo Switch docking stations, the docking station adapters, and Pokemon Go Plus accessories, was stored in the Austin Boulevard warehouse for years. According to the prosecutors, the 5 accounts sold more than 200,000 of Nintendo Switch stations, 10,000 Switch dock adapters, and about 15,000 of the Pokemon Go products between 2018 and earlier this month when the cops raided the site. The items were found to have incorrect serial numbers, product codes, and designs, and incorrect Japanese language characters that expose the ruse, prosecutor says. Lapidus is listed as the owner of the warehouse. Authorities executed a search warrant at the site on Tuesday and seized 46 boxes of Nintendo Switch stations, 23 Nintendo Cool Baby HD video games, and 33 boxes of the Nintendo Pokemon Plus Go accessories. Of all of it determined to be counterfeit by Amazon officials, prosecutors said. Lapidus was arrested with DA's office detectives and arraigned before Judge Lisa Luctoro. He pleaded not guilty and was freed on supervised release without bail. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in the win. Would not be at all. For the reason is, where did he get this merch? Guaranteed, most of the stuff was manufactured in China. Guaranteed on that. For the reason is that this happens all the time. You will find this stuff listed as non-Nintendo, from the pictures you see on there, out of certain other sites on there, especially a lot of sites from the overseas. And this has always been a major problem, especially here in New York. If you're not familiar, if you haven't been to New York, especially down to Chinatown. Now, I've always said, back in my youth, I used to go get basically copies of Japanese anime on there that's been pirated. Yeah, that's a place where you go down too. But you could also get video games down there. You can get, pretty much almost anything. Bags, clothing, knockoffs on a lot of stuff. And it's gotten worse lately because now you have had illegal immigrant African migrants who have been down there that have even been taking away the business from the Chinese to that point. And there have been major raids down there in that neck of the woods down in Chinatown. Because it's gotten really bad. And the thing about it is, okay, you can't afford that Dior, Christian Dior, or that Coach and stuff like that. It's best you not deal with it, to that point. But there are people who will go down to Chinatown and go look for it, including tourists. A lot of tourists out there. They'll try to get a fake Rolex watch for about a quarter of the price that, normally a Rolex watch would go for. Some of them have the money, they can go to Rolex itself, but they wanted to save a couple bucks, go down to Chinatown and expecting it to be real. There was a series, I think, was it with Whoopi Goldberg? I'm trying to remember the series name, but there was a joke on there. It was about a hotel. And the series, there was a scene where they said, well, we got to get this bag. I forgot what the brand name was. Let's say Christian Dior. And they had to replace it. So they said, oh, I could get it from my guy down in Chinatown. And they go to Chinatown, and they go to the store. The joke is that the girl comes up, and she says, oh, we're looking for this particular bag. It's this, and that. And she goes, oh, this what, Coach? No, it's not Coach. So the girl turns around, opens a drawer, pops the logo off. This brand? No, not that brand. And pulls another brand out. It just slaps it on there like a hood ornament. He goes, oh, Christian Dior? Yeah, pew, there you go. Christian Dior, $100, But the thing about it is, that is partially true out there. I mean, we've had raids left and right here in NYC. And it's not only, products like this. You also have had cannabis, alcohol, many other things that have been put out there that some of the stuff, I would not put in my home, especially electronic items, batteries, electronics, anything that basically is coming from that. I've always said, you got to be careful. Look at the label on some of this stuff. Crest toothpaste, which says Cross toothpaste instead. And you're thinking it's Crest. They must have misspelled it. No, it's not the same stuff. You know that. This is one of the reasons why we have a major problem in this country with product. When they say, like, well, yeah, no, we shouldn't put tariffs on China to that point on there. No, they send us junk product constantly. They steal IPs from many companies, many people onto there and, copy it. That's why we should be manufacturing here more often in this country. We need to go back to that point. We need to start teaching, in trade school. We got, there are some kids out there that probably have the, what they call it, the gusto, the ability to work in these places. Look at recently. You heard the story about the Hyundai plant that they went in and they arrested, about 400 people that were illegal, that shouldn't have been there. That's 400 jobs that could have gone to someone from this country. And you say, well, I don't think that they could have had the intelligence to do that kind of job. Why wouldn't they want a job like that? It's basically manufacturing. Now, I know that particular plant is I think it's a non-union plant, but technically that kind of job is a union job. If I was the unions, I'd be pissed off about that, because that's 400 less members, that basically that could have been on their rosters, paying members. But people don't think of that. They think about who's gonna butter your bread, pull your carrots, and all that stuff situation. Who's gonna make your electronics for you? Who's gonna make that TV for you? Why can't we? We used to. We used to be majorly big. I used to sell electronics back in the 90s. I sold the earliest cell phones, some of them that were manufactured here. I sold TVs that had picture tubes that were manufactured in Indianapolis. We're talking one of the largest it was RCA that basically they had a major plant that most of the tubes in your TVs, with the exception of Mitsubishi and Sony Trinitron, most of the others were actually RCA picture tubes. And we used to make it right here in the United States. Not anymore. We don't make TVs here anymore. They all come from overseas. We should be making TVs again. We should be manufacturing cars here. We should be manufacturing electronics, video games, all here. We should be growing our own food again heavily like it used to be. This country, this is what we were built upon, manufacturing. We went through that renaissance. We went through that gearing that basically, we built factories that soared high. We built the steel that went into those buildings that are, still around to this day. Not anymore. We need to go back to that. So let me know in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts about this. Did you end up buying one of these, and realize, this don't look right, as they say on there, or basically you saw it online and you said, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to buy this. So let me know in that comments. Don't forget to like, share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's very important because channels like myself, Sci-Fi Snob, Sci-Fi For Me, we're trying to push up in the algorithm. We need your help out there because now they're using AI against us. They're restricting some of our videos to be put out there in the open. So please do subscribe, and please do check out Sci-Fi For Me daily on there. Click on subscribe to his so you get the notifications for that. Also, Sci-Fi Snobs Babylon 5 retrospective, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Rumble, and also Top Lofty Lounge on the Sci-Fi Snob channel as well. Sunday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern on both channels once again. Until next time, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.